GatorSports.com to learn more.
From the first 4 games in Dayton, Ohio, until a national champion is crowned in Indianapolis, the NCAA tournament lives on WRUF. Brought to you in part by Spurrier's Gridiron Grill.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing. The godfather of Gator Sports Talk Radio has returned.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
It's Sports Scene with Steve Russell. Time to eat some lunch and talk some Gator sports.
Sports Scene with Steve Russell is fueled by Southeast Car Agency and brought to you in part by International Diamond Center, Domino's, Atlantic Roofing, Meldon Law, Los Linderos Tequila, Comfort Temp, Campus USA Credit Union, Pomodoro Cafe, Titan MRI and Imaging, Silverback Concrete, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Miapa Latin Cafe, Radware, Fairlife Milk, Gator Trim Lights, Quality Plumbing, Doreen Wiebe Realtor Caldwell Banker, and the Head Beer Coach.
Now, here's Steve Russell, right here on WRUF.
Happy St. Patty's Day. Welcome. But I'm not wearing anything green, and I can't because Florida's playing Stetson tonight, and I'm doing the game. I can't wear green if Stetson's there, right? But happy St. Patty's Day anyway, as you listen to Sports Scene on WRUF. Michael's going to produce the broadcast today. I'm just going to tell you now, it's going to be a squirrely day. It just is. I need you today. I need you as listeners, callers, emailers, whatever it is, to have some discussions today. Because if you listen to this show on a normal basis, I really like getting a lot of guests. I enjoy doing interviews, and I hope you enjoy them too. Trouble is, getting basketball people now ain't easy. You can imagine why, because they're all working. So today, we're going to talk a little football. Yeah, football. Trevor Sikkema, one of my former students, Pro Football Focus. We'll talk about what teams helped themselves in free agency and the upcoming draft also. Then, now that we have reached this point, I'm going to ask this question I asked a few weeks ago. Given what you see with Florida, given what you see now with the field, where Florida is, who they're matched up against, what would be successful in your view? Okay, we're going to do that. And then I'm going to talk a little more football too, in the sense of some things I really don't understand. Maybe it is complicated, and maybe I just don't understand it. But it's amazing to me what I'm seeing when it comes to what is being discussed in college football. I understand that getting to the bottom of things like tampering, things like that is not easy. But, for example, the SEC commissioner, Greg Sankey, called NCAA language covering tampering rules archaic. Ironically, he was speaking to reporters at the SEC men's basketball tournament when he did this. He said, how's the game being played? Doesn't mean the NCAA should just stop, but the notion a memo would be sent, and that changes things when the NCAA is perceived as sitting on the sidelines. That's not a workable solution. the NCAA issued a memo saying it would pursue significant penalties for tampering violations. The Big Ten sent a letter to the NCAA asking for a halt of the tampering rules. Once again, I just don't understand all that. But obviously, in the midst of all this, there is spring football, but I want to talk primarily hoops. Okay? Don't forget, we come to you live today from the Gator Trim Light Studio, now with full color landscape lighting. They can really make your home, your yard, a real showplace. You can light it up orange and blue if you want. Okay? Game day ready. You can visit GatorTrimLight.com, find out more. Also, we're fueled by Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue. The best in late model, low mileage vehicles. Been driving one for a long time. They know what they're doing, folks. Go see them, make sure and tell them Sports Scene sent you. Also, if you have Facebook Live questions, Michael gets them to me courtesy of Ruse Ugra State Farm, your go-to agent in Gainesville and North Central Florida for car, home, casualty, and life insurance. YouTube questions courtesy of Campus USA Credit Union, where Coach Spurrier does his banking. Founded on the UF campus, serving our community for 90 years. All of your phone calls come to you courtesy of the Titan MRI and Imaging phone line. 3 locations in Gainesville, 1 in Lake City to serve you. TitanMRI.com, you can find out more. All the emails, you know where they go. srussell@wruf.com, courtesy of International Diamond Center, the official jeweler of the Florida Gators. They carry a vast and quality assortment of designer engagement rings, wedding bands, watches, fine jewelry, and more. All of our guests, courtesy of Meldon Law, serving Gator Nation since 1971. Meldon Law won't back down. And appreciate Quality Plumbing for sponsoring the first hour of the show today. When you need a quality plumber, rely on the same company Gainesville's trusted since 1984. Their name says it all. And we now have a new way to be part of the show. It's our text line. You can text 352-325-3777. Put your name on it, and I'll read your question on the air. You can now text Sports Scene, call us, email, comment on Facebook and YouTube. Yeah, lots of different ways to do it. And so today, I'm hoping we'll have a good day. And don't forget tonight, Gator baseball here against Stetson, and then the Gators go to Alabama. With the madness upon us, make sure to join the WRUF ESPN Gainesville Bracket Challenge. Compete against your favorite personalities. Everyone here at the college and other listeners. You can fill out your NCAA tournament bracket on ESPN.com. Then in the group section, select WRUF ESPN Gainesville Bracket Challenge. Top 2 finishers receive cash prizes courtesy of Titan MRI and Imaging and Radware. Third place receives a gift pack courtesy of Tri-Eagle Sales. It's now open. All right, let's go to our Titan MRI Imaging phone line. Daryl, hello.
Hey, good afternoon, Steve.
Hey.
Steve, let me answer your question about success for the Gator basketball team.
Okay.
In my opinion, Steve, I'm going to say Elite Eight.
Ooh, okay.
But, Sweet 16, Steve, you can't say nothing bad about that,
No, but there's a difference, I think, between being disappointed that you don't make it or mad that you didn't make it. And, it's all about, obviously, how you play that day, what the matchup is, et cetera. That's what makes everything cool. So it's we'll see.
Yep. Steve, Stetson tonight, correct, in baseball?
Yep.
6:30?
Yep. 6:25 airtime here.
All right. I'll be listening to this broadcasting, Steve.
All right. Appreciate you, Daryl. Thank you for your call. Chris, welcome to the show.
Hey, Steve-O. I just want to say how excited I am for March Madness. This is by far, not even a close second, my favorite sporting event of the year. I think it's the only sport, other than maybe like relegation in soccer, where there's some meritocracy. Like the small guy has a chance. High Point has a chance to beat Wisconsin. Most pro sports and college football now, you get some upsets here or there, but we pretty much know who's going to win. And March Madness, at least the early rounds, still feel like everyone's got a shot. And the back-to-back games, I usually, hopefully my boss isn't listening, but I usually take Thursday and Friday off and eat nachos and watch 12 straight hours of college basketball. So I'm super excited about this. As far as Florida's success, last year was amazing. Winning the SEC by 3 games was amazing. I think we've had a little bit of fool's gold. And what I mean by that is I watch teams from the Big 12 and Michigan and some of these other teams that have consistent three-point threats, and I just don't think Florida can hang. And I think the SEC may have given Florida the idea that they're a little better than they actually are. So I'm hoping they make the Elite Eight. I think they make it past the first round, and then they beat Clemson in the second round. I hope we don't play Vandy again in the third round. That's what I
hope Florida does.
Match up well for Florida.
I hope Florida does.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you why I do. Look, Vandy has played Florida very well in the 2 games it's played Florida, so I can see why you would say what you're saying, Chris. But when Florida gets beat by somebody, they tend to play better the next time around. You know, now they didn't play Auburn again, but look what they were stung at home by Auburn, and then they went out and, ran that streak that they did, right?
Yeah.
They didn't play Kentucky well, but it's also, you're playing somebody again. You're playing Kentucky for a third time, and then you get a Vandy team that, as you said, matches up well with Florida, and they are playing good basketball now. I really want to see that matchup. I want to see that matchup again.
Okay, great. Well, then I have a little more confidence than I did before. Go Gators, Steve.
All right, thank you, Chris. I'm saying that as a fan, too. Forget whatever hat I wear. I just think it's good. And, I also want to know, what are some upsets you're picking? I'd also like to know that. I know a couple of my buddies, like NC State to beat BYU, and I don't know about that. It's funny. I don't pick upsets generally. That's why my bracket usually stinks, because I don't go chalk, but I normally side with the favorite, and as well as I do, there's always somebody, that gets knocked off. And look, there are teams like Tennessee that, don't do well when they make the tournament. So that you look at them and go, don't they have SMU, I think? Are they vulnerable against them? High Point, Wisconsin, we'll see. We'll take a break. We're going to talk a little football. Pro Football Focus's Trevor Sikkema will join us next, and then we'll get back to the basketball talk. And I want to know some of your upset picks as you fill out your bracket. All right? You're listening to Sports Scene, coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF. Hey, it's Steve Russell for Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue. Friends, they've been in business for 45-plus years, and the Cousins family has done just one thing, but, man, they've done it right. They give you the best alternative you have to purchasing a new vehicle, the best in late-model, low-mileage vehicles. I'm driving one right now, have been for a very long time. They've treated me right. They'll do the same thing for you. Go see them today, Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville.
Gator Nation, ready to light it up? Gator Trim Light has already brightened homes and businesses across North Florida. And now they're bringing the heat with full color landscape lighting. Light up your palm trees, bushes, pools, patios, barbecue decks, everything in orange and blue. Whether it's a back porch retrofit or a full custom landscape install, Gator Trim Light makes your home game day ready. Turn your patio into the ultimate victory zone and cheer your Gators on to a big win. Visit GatorTrimLight.com. That's GatorTrimLight.com. Gator Trim Light. Let there be Gator Light.
P.F. Chang's Gainesville is serving up incredible lunch specials starting at just $11.99. So if you're in the mood for Asian fusion cuisine, stop in for lunch today. And don't miss happy hour, Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. with $5.99 beers, $6.99 wines, and $8.99 cocktails. Make your next lunch or afternoon unwind unforgettable at P.F. Chang's Gainesville, your destination for lunch and happy hour.
It's lunchtime and nobody does lunch like Pomodoro Cafe. From Italian dishes to subs and salads, and favorites like their gamberi salento, shrimp, fresh tomatoes, and zucchini sauteed in garlic and oil with penne pasta and Romano cheese.
This is Steve Russell sharing with you one of my favorite lunch spots, Pomodoro Cafe, located in the Spring Hill Publix complex on 39th Avenue near I-75. Enjoy Pomodoro Cafe today.
And don't forget, they cater online at pomodorocafe.com.
Hey, have you ever talked to Ruse Agra over at State Farm?
Oh yeah, Ruse is awesome. Helped me get a ton of coverage for way less than I expected, and he serves all of North Florida. Super friendly too, actually takes time to explain everything.
Really? I thought State Farm would be pricey.
No, surprisingly great rates. You get that neighborly service you don't find everywhere. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I might give Ruse at State Farm a call.
You should. Call 352-240-1779 for a free quote. You'll be glad you did.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Craving real Cuban flavor? Come to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, where every bite brings you home. From our juicy roast chicken with yellow rice and black beans, our breakfast options to sweet plantains, empanadas, and our iconic Cuban cafecito, we've got what your taste buds are waiting for. And with 6 locations, there's sure to be one near you serving up warm hospitality and authentic breakfast, lunch, or dinner vibes whenever hunger strikes. So head over to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, the best Cuban food north of Miami. Visit miapalatincafe.com or stop by your nearest location today.
You're listening to Sports Scene with Steve Russell, right here on WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and anywhere in the world on the WRUF mobile app.
Don't forget, we are changing time of Sports Scene because of our coverage of the NCAA tournament. Tomorrow, our normal day, noon to 2. Thursday and Friday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And Ron Slay from the SEC Network is going to join us. Carolyn Peck, former Gator women's basketball coach, will talk about the women's side. So again, mark it down. Thursday, Friday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., and then coverage of the NCAA tournament. Well, in the middle of all this, NFL free agency is going on, and, a lot of what happens now can certainly shape what teams are going to do come fall. Guy who covers it very well, Trevor Sikkema, one of our grads, works, of course, for Pro Football Focus. He now joins us. Trevor, good to have you, man. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, Steve, always enjoy hopping on the show. Appreciate you having me.
It's been an interesting free agency period here, and 2 things stick out to me. The explosion you're hearing in South Florida is the blow-up of the Dolphins. Was that expected?
I didn't think to this degree. Anytime you move on from a general manager and a head coach, which they did over the course of the last calendar year, that things are going to go into a pretty big rebuild. And we figured that Tua Tagovailoa would be part of that, right? Okay, he's gone, and it's just such a massive dead cap hit that they're taking on this year. But very clearly, especially with the news about an hour ago that they're also now trading Jalen Waddle from their roster. You look at this roster here, and this is the least talented team in the NFL. I don't think that there's any question about that going into next season. And I think the idea is you take your lumps now. You eat all the dead cap you possibly can in this upcoming season. And what you really want to do is just focus on the 2027 NFL draft. You want to try to focus on putting yourself in a position to get a quarterback, and it looks like the quarterback class for next year could be pretty dang good. Obviously, Dante Moore, who could have been in this year's class, Arch Manning as well, Julian Sand from Ohio State. There's a lot of guys that give you a lot of hope going into the next draft when it comes to the quarterback position. And for Miami, again, just going back to the top of what your question is, I knew that they would rebuild. But my goodness, this is going all the way down to the foundation. They are resetting everything they possibly can, which some fans would tell you, hey, if you're going to tank, do it right. And if that's what they're doing, they're certainly doing it right.
Yeah, they are going to the foundation. There's no question about it. What other teams, in your view, have helped themselves the most?
Well, I think the Jets are one of them. You know, you looked at a team that did not win a lot of games last season, and they are one of those teams that were really active over the last week. A lot of new faces in there. And to be honest, going to get a lot of guys that, one's a free agent in DeMario Davis. I know it's a homecoming for him, playing with the Saints after he played with the Jets for all those years, but now coming home. I mean, he's still got something left in the tank, so I don't think that's just a nothing signing. I think that's a big culture signing for them as well. I really like that one. And then speaking of Miami, I mean, trading for Minkah Fitzpatrick, getting that deal done there, getting him to come over and play that safety spot. So that amongst a lot of other additions that they've made, they've really retooled, I think, how they want to play defense specifically this upcoming season. And the other team, of course, is the team that was in the news so much over the last week was the Las Vegas Raiders, right? Max Crosby, he's on the team, he's not on the team, now he's back with the team. And it's kind of funny how all of that happened, and a lot of hoopla, a lot of drama to get to this point. But, you know, this team had a lot of money to spend. They had the ability to be aggressive even without trading Max Crosby. And I liked the trade of getting 2 first-round picks for Crosby, especially after all of the free agents that they added on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, 7 of their 11 starters were all unrestricted free agents going into this year, so they knew they were going to have new starters, and they've upgraded in a major way. Now you get all of those signings. You project Fernando Mendoza on this team, and you get to keep Max Crosby. I mean, look, the 2 first-round picks would have been nice, but it's hard to not really get excited about what that new defense looks like in Vegas.
You know, you look at a couple of teams, Pittsburgh, you know, Tomlin's gone now, that long streak of not having a losing season, but man, they're teetering here and still no quarterback. Does that mean Aaron Rodgers comes back?
Yeah, I wondered how much they were going to be in the Kyler Murray conversation, and obviously things moved pretty quickly for Kyler. He gets released, and then he signed in Minnesota just a couple of days later. So very clearly there was some groundwork that was already laid there with him being able to work that quickly and get to Minnesota. But to be honest with you, I liked the fit of him in a Mike McCarthy offense in Pittsburgh, and I wondered if that would have been alluring to him, especially with them going out and adding Michael Pittman Jr. via trade from the Indianapolis Colts. And I think that it kind of has to be Rodgers at this point, right? Because it's either Rodgers or you're starting Will Howard. I mean, let's be real. You're not going to start Mason Rudolph. I mean, there's no real reason. He's been a backup quarterback basically his entire career. When he's been given a chance to be a starter, he hasn't lived up to it. I feel as though it's Aaron Rodgers or bust kind of for the Pittsburgh Steelers, or if not, just see how much that they believe in Will Howard. But the problem there is that Will Howard was drafted by a coaching staff that's not currently there. So all signs to me point to Aaron Rodgers. I know he loves the drama, so I know that he loves to, drag things out here. But if he was going to retire, I kind of feel like we would know that at this point. The longer this goes on, the more I feel like he is going to come back, and obviously Pittsburgh's that only spot for him now.
Trevor Sikkema, Pro Football Focus, joining us here talking about the NFL free agency. Jags and the Bucks, assess what you see going on there.
Yeah, I think Jacksonville, standing pat is fine for them. They didn't have a lot of money to work with this offseason. And James Gladstone, I loved what he came out and said. He's like, some of the players you would have loved to keep. Like, I'm sure they would have loved to keep Devin Lloyd, but they really didn't have the cap space to be able to do so. So instead, he says, hey, we're going to have a quiet free agent period, and we're going to acquire comp picks in next year's draft class, which I have already alluded to, looks a lot more talented and a lot deeper. So it really just kind of comes down to how you are planning to navigate the entire offseason, not just free agency, but everything with a long-term outlook. So I actually really do like what the Jags have done. Now, obviously, not having that first-round pick kind of hurts them this year, but they'll recoup that and they'll get their first-round pick regularly scheduled next year, and hopefully now they'll get a couple of comp picks in the 2027 class as well. For Tampa, kind of worst-case scenario, basically all around. I think that they brought back some core guys for their team, and these are fine players. They're nice players. They're not difference-making players. They're not guys that really, I think, are going to change the trajectory of this team. Like, I like the Alex Anzalone signing, obviously Gator great himself, but how much does he really change a linebacker room that needed at least 3 new linebackers, and so far they only have 1? I think that they had an opportunity to get in the conversation with Max Crosby. I think they had an opportunity to be in the conversation with Trey Hendrickson, and I've kind of heard that they were in those talks, but obviously you don't land either of those big fish. So now you're sitting here with your 2 biggest needs going into the offseason, were linebacker and pass rusher. You haven't really gotten better at either of those areas. And on top of all of that, I mean, they fumbled this Mike Evans situation so poorly. I mean, for a franchise legend, a guy who has loved Tampa his entire career, somebody who has been willing to work with the team to get the right players in, to win, to do things the right way, for him to leave Tampa the way that he did, unfortunately, I think speaks pretty loudly without even having to say words about what he thought of the current Buccaneers ownership decisions, what he thinks of their head coach, and also, I know fans don't want to admit this, but what he thinks about Baker Mayfield as well. So I think it has been a really, really disappointing offseason for the Buccaneers.
I'm right with you there, Trevor. Last thing here, you may have alluded to this in earlier discussion, but if I said to you, give me a couple of teams in free agency so far that have really helped themselves, tell me who they are, and then a couple of teams, like you mentioned about the Bucs, scratching your head going, what are they doing in free agency? Where would you go with that?
Yeah, I think the Bucs are certainly one of those ones that's been one of the more disappointing ones. I felt like Denver's also been a little bit disappointing, but now they make the splash move for Jalen Waddle, and so, hey, this is a team that felt like they were an AFC and Super Bowl contender, and now if you just look at their offseason and say, hey, we basically stayed the same for all intents and purposes. We just added Jalen Waddle. I can't be too mad at that. But I really do. I mean, I look at teams like the Raiders. I think that they're totally changing things around. I like what John Harbaugh has done with the New York Giants as well, getting some guys that he knew from his time when he was with Baltimore, making sure that team's a lot better. Now, is it fully complete? No, but man, that defense in New York with the Giants was such a disappointment last year for all the talent that they had. I feel as though the new coaching staff alone is really going to help them out. And then the last team that I'll shout out is the Tennessee Titans. I like what Robert Saleh is doing. I like the team that he's building. It's funny how many players they added that both he and new coach Brian Daboll have coached with in the past. It was basically just a situation where if you knew these guys, you were probably getting a call. But, hey, the Titans really needed a lot more talent. I think they are a lot more talented of a team. So I think a lot of those teams that are drafting within the top 10 and the top 5, they were as active as you wanted them to be, and I think they're going to be more competitive this season.
You said this at the top of the interview, Trevor. Being a Jets guy, you know that. Jets and optimistic are 2 words that don't normally come out of my mouth at the same time, but I think, and you alluded to this, I think cautiously optimistic here that they've helped themselves and finally made some good roster moves. I think a lot of these roster moves are pretty good, aren't they?
I think so, too. The Jets are one of those teams that it's a lot of new names. It's a lot of in and out, a lot of free agents, a lot of trading, a lot of cutting of certain players. And I just think that it's more of maybe a culture cleansing than anything else, right?
Yes.
And you figure that would happen. Aaron Glenn takes over last offseason. There's only so much he can do in one offseason when you are a first-time head coach in a certain situation. You don't even have the ability to properly assess the guys that are there on your team. So this offseason was always going to be the real first offseason for Aaron Glenn. And very clearly they wanted to get aggressive in changing the different guys. And just like I said with DeMario Davis, again, the same thing with Minkah Fitzpatrick. You are getting veterans that know what it's like to play at a very high level, that know what it takes to win. And I think that's as important as anything else for this Jets team right now. And so I do really like a lot of the moves that they made.
Dude knows his stuff. Where can people see your work?
Everything over at Pro Football Focus, PFF.com. That's where you can see the mock drafts, the big boards, the rankings, all that, and then talking about all of it on the NFL Stock Exchange podcast show. But I appreciate you, Steve.
Appreciate you, Trevor. Thank you for doing it, man. Trevor Sikkema, Pro Football Focus, one of our grads. He's done very well. He's very good at what he does, and I'm proud of what he's done. Okay, now, the rest of the day, it'll be us. So let me just say again, two things. As you call in today, we'll talk about whatever you want, but what are some of the upsets you're picking in the bracket? And, now you've seen the bracket, who Florida's got, what would you deem it successful as we start the NCAA tournament? We'll come back with more. You're listening to Sports Scene on WRUF.
This is former Gator quarterback Shane Matthews, and you're listening to the home of Gator sports, WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
It's football season, touchdowns and celebrations, and unfortunately, injuries. If you're injured, call Titan MRI and Imaging. No need to deal with long wait times and high costs to get your scans done. Titan MRI and Imaging will save you time and money. And the experience at Titan MRI and Imaging, much more personal than the sterile atmosphere of a hospital. Joe and his team are personally involved and will guide you through the entire process at any of their 3 convenient locations. So if you need a scan, call Titan MRI and Imaging. Learn more at TitanMRI.com.
The jewelry store with the most likes, the most positive reviews, the most raving fans is International Diamond Center.
IDC is definitely a place that I will come to as long as I live here. This will be my go-to place always.
Literally the best jewelry store in town. You'll make friends for life coming in here. I felt like family from the beginning. The value was extraordinary.
I've got a beautiful diamond on my finger, and I'm very proud of it.
International Diamond Center.
I'm very happy to show it off.
At Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
For the first time ever in a public setting outside the Heisman Trophy ceremony in New York City, 3 legends are coming to Gainesville. Join Steve Spurrier, Danny Werfel, and Tim Tebow together with their Heisman trophies for the Legends Gala at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill on Monday, March 30th. Enjoy an unforgettable night of Gator greatness while supporting the incredible mission of Isaiah 117 House. Tickets are limited. Get yours now at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com. Don't miss your chance to be a part of Gator history.
Gator fans, get ready to raise a glass for a perfect cause. Spurrier's Gridiron Grill is teaming up with UF Gymnastics head coach Jenny Rowland to bring you 2 brand new limited time drinks. Feel the heat with the fiery flip or stick the landing with the perfect 10 margarita. And here's the best part. $2 from every drink goes straight to support the Gator NIL Fund. Sip, support, and celebrate Gator greatness. But hurry, these signature drinks are only available for a limited time at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, where Gators come to win.
There are plenty of realtors in town, but few work as hard, respond as quickly, or care as deeply as Doreen Wiebe of Caldwell Banker MM Parish. Community-driven and client-focused, Doreen will work with you to ensure your satisfaction. Whether you're buying or selling, she brings persistence, preparation, and heart to every deal. With Doreen, you're not just another transaction. You're a priority. Call 352-562-1411. That's 352-562-1411.
Ever dreamed of catching a touchdown pass from Tim Tebow or Danny Werfel, or taking a handoff from the legendary Steve Spurrier? Then you need to join the Florida Legends Experience on Monday, March 30th at the Alachua County at Celebration Point. You'll receive a personal video of your touchdown and a football signed by the Gator Legends. Enjoy an unforgettable day of Gator greatness while supporting the incredible mission of Isaiah 117 House. Tickets are limited. Get yours now at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com. Don't miss your chance to be a part of Gator history.
Think your season's over? Let's turn your off-season back on. Hoops is heating up on Hard Rock Bet, Florida's only legal way to bet the NBA. So you can bet on teams, star players, and more. With games practically every day, there's always something to parlay. Roll with Hard Rock Bet all NBA season. New users get paid double winnings on your first 10 bets.
Max bet of $50 per bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
The Tailgate with Jeff Cardozo and Zach Almoverdi. Weekdays at 4, right here on WRUF.
All right, we are taking International Diamond Center emails, phone calls on the Titan MRI and Imaging phone line, 392-8255. Again, some upsets you're picking, and then what would you consider now, given what you know, Florida's bracket, all of that, disappointing, whatever. Monty in Virginia. Believe UF is superior to any possible opponent in the first weekend, so a loss would be a colossal disappointment. Beyond that, I don't understand and accept any loss. Disappointed but understanding, proud of their accomplishments regardless. Peyton, I'm not a Gator fan, but I feel Sweet 16 is successful based on who is in their side of the bracket. My final four, St. John's, Arkansas, BYU, and Nebraska. Wow. Yeah, maybe we can do that too. Maybe we can do your final four. But that's an interesting final four right there, Peyton. Brian, reaching the Sweet 16 to me is successful. However, I still be dissatisfied with this team, unless it makes a Final Four. With all the talent coming back from last year's team, it would feel like a letdown. No matter what happens in the tournament, winning the SEC was a huge achievement, and all in Gator Nation should be proud no matter what happens. For upsets, he has Akron in the Sweet 16. South Florida, Santa Clara, going to the second round. Who do you feel is the most, okay, and I'm going to ask this too. You guys are anticipating me today. I like it. Because, again, today's one of those days when, hard getting basketball guests. I will say this. We're starting to get a few in. Thursday, Ron Slay from the SEC Network will join us. Carolyn Peck will talk about the women's tournament. Mike DeCourcy from the Sporting News will talk with us Friday. But he says, who was the second most successful SEC program behind Kentucky? Well, let me ask this, Brian. What time frame are you talking? If you're talking from the dawn of time, it's Kentucky. There's no question, right? But if you're talking the last, 25 years? I think you put Florida right there, don't you? I would. Look, we've had this conversation about blue blood, all of that, but Kentucky, for the totality of it, is. No question. And he says, please, this will never happen, comments on the baseball broadcast. For those who, there was a 3-0 pitch the other day, and I said, there's no way he swings at this, and he swung at it. And I promise you, that was 1 in a million. So, but yeah, okay, I got you, Brian. Some more emails here. Mark, Klafshar's 3 of 6 from 3 over the last 3 games. In my opinion, 2 attempts a game is not enough with the way he's shooting the ball. Maybe I'm wrong. Don't see many half-court sets designed to free him up for an open look. With Clayton and Richard, we ran some staggered screens last year to free him up. Maybe we need to do the same considering Halk, Lee, Boogie, and Zay are struggling from deep. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. If there are, now, what's his skill set in doing things like that? That goes into it. But, Mark, I hear you. Don't disagree. I think that's a good idea. Monty, his upsets, Mizzou over Miami, UCF over UCLA, High Point over Wisconsin. Mike says it's already been a great season. Winning the SEC by 3 games during the 1 seed we got early, it'll just be a bad tournament. If the Gators run, they'll make the championship. If they play half-court offense, they could go out versus Iowa. Mike, you make this argument all the time. Florida's not a running team. Do they get out? Yes. But they're not a 94-foot run, and they certainly don't walk the ball up the floor. And how many points did they score the other day? It wasn't their offense, right? So this is not, in my opinion, an offensive issue. It was more of a defensive issue the other day. The Gators played the 3-ranked season schedule. They were number 1 pre-conference. The SEC had the most teams in the tournament. No fool's gold. Gators earned the number 1 seed. Yes, they did. No question. Let's go to our Titan MRI Imaging phone line. Greg, hello.
Hey, Steve, I figured I'd chime in and do my Gainesvillian part, considering I love your show and so glad you're back. With this bracket, Steve, I've already done 3 and I deleted the first 2 and I end up – couple of them end up with the same picks, and I can't get past a Vanderbilt loss. I just hated the way, and just some of the calls were you really sets a mindset in a player's head, and maybe it unfolded the way it needed to, Steve. Maybe it's exactly what this team needed before we go in the tournament. And but so just having said that, I'm picking Nebraska to beat Vanderbilt in the second round. On my picks, Final Four, my highest. I'm trying to find it here. Yeah, my highest seed is a 3, Michigan State. I got Florida and Michigan State, and then Arizona and Michigan. And this is kind of leading to my point. It seems now, Steve, in this NIL era and transfer portal era, it just seems where the traditional powerhouses aren't as dominant as they used to be. And like at Kentucky, for example, I'm not saying they were paying players back then, but one makes you wonder why they've fallen off so much. And just what are your thoughts on, these high seeds just remaining? Like last year, I think all 4 1 seeds went into the Final Four. And the fact that does NIL affect the dominant teams in the past? Is that, maybe not both so well for them now, and where everybody is getting some money now? And I'll listen off air, and thanks for your show, Stephen. Go Gators.
Appreciate you, Greg. Thank you. I think the exact opposite. I think unless something is done, the rich will get richer. And in Kentucky's case, injuries. They had a lot of guys hurt. Now, I'm not saying if they were healthy, they'd be any better. I don't know. But you would think, if you're losing a couple of starters that you think are good, that's got to affect you in some way. So I think with Kentucky, it was more about injuries than anything else. I see this, Greg, going to where you're going to get more and more guys who are proven players in, for the Akrons of the world or the, whatever, leave. And I think you're going to see fewer upsets. We'll see if it gets borne out. Andrew, welcome.
Hey, after the game, Todd Golden said something about how our scouting got beat. He didn't make a big deal about it, but I kind of thought that kind of summed up the game, and I was curious, for these, conference games, is there a lot more film watched for a conference game than for a tournament game with the quick turnaround? Was that a big factor, you think?
No, I think what he was alluding to is, and I was very fortunate, Andrew, I'll tell a quick story. When I broadcast women's basketball games for a long time, all the coaches let me sit in during the film session. And it really educated me. Because A, coming to broadcast the game, I knew what they were trying to do because I saw it. And then I heard them say, hey, we have to do this, we have to do that. I think what he was alluding to is that in a scouting report, if you say we have to limit this guy's touches. We have to do a good job on the boards, and you don't do it, then you're not following what the scouting report said you should do. I think that's what he's alluding to.
Oh, so you're saying you think that it wasn't necessarily the scouting report that was the problem, but the execution of it?
Yes, because remember, they already played Vanderbilt once. It isn't like they hadn't played Vandy before, right? So, I can say to you, we need to do this against this player, and the scout's great. But if the player doesn't do it, well, then the scout isn't so great because what the player didn't do. I think that's what he's alluding to, I think.
No. I was curious, though. For these quick turnaround games, how much scouting is there? Is there a lot of detail that goes into that? Or
Sure there is.
Kind of just...
Sure. I mean, nowadays you can get, video from all over the place because there's so many games that are broadcast. You're not going to lose a game because you didn't scout. You're not. And remember, if you're playing a team, a potential team in the second round, well, guess what? Guess who's watching the first game? So there's that too.
Yeah. All right, thanks for answering my question.
Yes, sir, Andrew. Thank you for your call. Hey, D, how are you?
Hey, what's up, Steve? Talk about this tournament right quick in the Gators. Steve, I expect at least to get to the Sweet 16. The first two games are in Tampa. We should have a strong contingent of fans there. So I'm not seeing any slip up before then. And I'm with you, man. If we get Vandy, I want to play Vandy again because I think one thing people not saying, Steve, is both of those games were in Nashville. There were basically two home games for Vandy. So
that's right.
This would be on a neutral floor, and they won't have that home crowd behind them. So, yeah, give me a shot at them. And plus the Gators will have the motivation after Vandy smacked us. So, like you said, I would love to see that. But, Steve, if the draw goes the way it should and it's 1-2, that means we would get Houston. And, Steve, I don't know how the heck Houston gets to play a potential Elite Eight game basically in downtown Houston. That would be like Florida getting to the Elite Eight against Duke or Carolina and playing the game at Cameron Indoor or Chapel Hill. I mean, I don't get it. To me, that's not fair, but it is what it is, man. So the Gators would have to not only beat a motivated Houston team that lost the championship to the Gators last year, but they're basically playing the game on Houston's home turf. So that's going to be a lot to overcome, man.
Yeah, and we kind of went into this yesterday about because it's not being played at Houston's place, but in the city it is. And that happened. I mean, look, Florida's playing in Tampa. It's not in a later round, right? That's an advantage for Florida when you can play in Tampa. It just isn't occurring, later on like this potential matchup could be. So I hear your point.
Yep. So, like I said, I expect us to come out, fired up and ready to play. And like you said, man, when we lose a game, we usually come out ready, prepared, and angry. So whoever we play Friday night, they're going to be in trouble.
and I'll also say this. I'm going to say again, I really want to see Florida play Vanderbilt again. I'm looking forward to that game, not just from the Florida perspective, D, but let's give Vandy credit. You make a valid point, and I mentioned it the other day too. Essentially 2 home games for Vanderbilt. And Vandy played very well in both those games. So A, how does not playing at home affect them? And B, if Vandy plays the Gators tough again, well then they're pretty legit. And they will have proven to me that over 3 games against the Gators that, they hung with them all 3 games. Or, to your point, they didn't play them in Nashville and Florida, got the best of them because they weren't playing at home. I just want to see that game. I really want to see that matchup.
Yep, 2 days away, Steve. Be good, man.
Okay, D, thank you. We'll take a break, come back. More to come. Plenty to hear from you talking hoops as you listen to Sports Scene coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF.
When the late, great Charlie Daniels would need a place for jewelry he could trust, he turned to International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange.
Hi, I'm Charlie Daniels, and I live in Tennessee, but when I get ready to do something serious about jewelry or a gift for my wife or somebody, I always get in touch with the folks at International Gold and Diamond Exchange here in Gainesville. There's a lot of reasons for that. One reason is they sell nothing but the best.
Find out what Charlie was talking about for yourself at International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange at 3440 West University Avenue and online at igdwex.com.
Gator Nation, did you know the UF bookstore, located right inside the University of Florida's Rights Union, is more than just textbooks? That's right. Gear up with officially licensed Gator merchandise from top brands like Nike, Peter Lamar, Lululemon, Columbia, Tommy Bahama, Apple, and more. From game day to every day, we've got the styles Gators love. Stop by the Florida bookstore at Rights Union. The Florida bookstore, where Gators shop.
Go Gators!
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for core power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Protein to build muscle. Electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with Core Power.
We sell more so you save more at the all-new Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC. New Chevy Silverado or GMC Sierra, $349 per month. New Chevy Colorado or GMC Canyon, $239 per month. Plus, we'll beat any price from the Villages to Lake City to Jacksonville and everywhere in between at the all-new Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC on North Main Street in the heart of Gator Country and at GainesvilleChevyGMC.com. 36-month leases, $84.99 due at signing, plus tax tag, title, and dock. All rebates and incentives to dealer may include loyalty, subject to lender approval. Together, let's drive.
Are you ready to raise your game when it comes to your Gators gear? Head over to Alma Mater in Gainesville and you'll find just what you need to rep your team in style. From one-of-a-kind Gator tees and hats to NIL gear, they've got the perfect Gator swag for every fan in all kinds of weather. Whether it's game day or any day, you'll be winning with officially licensed apparel found nowhere else. Locally owned, locally produced. Alma Mater, in-store at the corner of 34th and University or online at almamaterdesign.com.
Concrete is tough, long-lasting, durable, and when it's done right, it's the foundation of everything that stands strong. At Silverback Concrete, we don't just pour concrete, we build trust one slab at a time. We're a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists who sweat every detail, from footers to elevated decks. We respect your budget, we build to last, and we care about the people on the job today and those who will walk these floors tomorrow. You stand on it, we stand by it. Silverback Concrete, we've got your back. Visit silverbackconcrete.co to get started.
For more than 50 years of quality service, Archer Electric Service Company has been Gainesville's choice for residential and commercial electrical work. Whether you need wiring, repairs, or backup generator installation, we treat every client like family with professional, clean, dependable service. Don't wait for the storm or the flicker to remind you. Visit ArcherElectricService.com today for a free consultation and see why we've been Gainesville and the surrounding area's most trusted electricians for decades.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
A mix of sun and clouds for us on this Tuesday afternoon. Temperatures on the chilly side in the mid to upper 50s. Tonight, partly cloudy, lows cooling to the mid to upper 30s. Tomorrow afternoon, a little bit warmer. We should make it to the mid 60s. By the time we get to Thursday, highs back in the 70s. Sunny skies and tranquil conditions for the rest of the work week. From the WUFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Borowski.
March Madness is coming to WRUF.
Quality Plumbing sponsoring the first hour of Sports Team. We appreciate them and appreciate you. 392-8255. You can email the show, srussell@wruf.com. And our new text line, 352-325-3777. Give us a text. Give me your name. I'll read it on the air. I promise. All right. We have some Facebook Live questions, courtesy of Ruzoga State Farm. Andy, to me, if Florida makes it to the Houston rematch, if Houston makes it, anything beyond that's a bonus. Everything before that, Florida should be expected to win. Dustin, has the Durant experiment failed in Houston? Again, I don't know what you mean by failed. We'll see. I mean, it's the regular season, right? I mean, isn't Houston like 4th or 5th in the West? Something like that? They're like 14, 15 games over 500, I think. So I don't know that it's failed. Okay, I was close. Yeah, so thank you. Michael says 4th. I was right. And they're like 14, 15 games over 500, so I don't know that you could say it's a failure. And it's interesting because there are, if you take out the Thunder and the Spurs, there's like 5 teams within 4 games in the West. But no, so I don't think there's been a failure by any stretch. I would not call it that at all. Let's see. YouTube questions, courtesy of Campus USA Credit Union. Sam, how does Florida match up against Illinois if they play in the Elite Eight? I do not know. I've seen Illinois play twice. Really impressed with them. Very quick team, but I cannot give you a scouting report on that yet. Is that a tougher game than Houston? Tougher in this sense. I mean, obviously, Houston isn't the same team. Florida isn't the same team, but you've played them, so maybe a little, familiarity that you don't have with Illinois, I would say. And then on the text line, Stewart says, what's more heavily weighed, a conference title or a conference tournament championship title? I think a conference title. You're winning the regular season. You're winning that grind of a regular season. Now, look, Arkansas hadn't won the tournament since 2001. Nolan Richardson was coaching them then. So for them, is that a big deal? I would imagine, because Arkansas, was good back then. But I think if you win a regular season championship, I would put a little more stock into that because it's longer. It's over more of a grind than just winning a tournament championship is. But you get the automatic bid when you win the tournament championship. So there you are. Let's see. Norm, his first round upset winners. South Florida. A lot of people are picking South Florida. UCF, Missouri, Santa Clara over Kentucky. And he says more injuries to starters than usual are impacting the favorites. His final 4, Duke, Florida, Purdue, and Virginia. As Ron Slay predicted Sunday, beat him down, Gators. Well, Ron Slay's going to be here this week. So we'll get his thoughts on what's going to happen here. And then finally, Dustin, I think the Gators got the easiest bracket. Vanderbilt possible rematch in the Sweet 16, Houston Elite 8. My final 4, Duke, Florida, Arizona, Iowa State. Okay. That's the beauty of, when you pick like that. I have been historically awful when it comes to brackets. Because you know what? I'm going to be honest. I don't sit there and pore over it. I look at the bracket and go, okay, win. I don't have any money on it. If I had money on it, I'd take a hell of a lot more time than I would do that than when I'm doing it now. But, there you are. That's our first hour. Thank you. And again, we'll do the same thing hour number 2 here. No guests in the hour, so I want to hear from you. Talk about hoops. Again, what's a successful season for Florida now? Who's your upset picks? Who's your Final 4? We'll talk all about it in hour 2 of Sports Scene coming up on WRUF.
The NCAA tournament is coming to WRUF this March.
Want to get your brand noticed? At Radware, we help you stand out with custom corporate apparel, branded uniforms, and promotional swag that gets attention. From trade shows to team uniforms, we've got you covered. Radware even works with major names like the University of Florida. Boost your brand visibility today. Visit radware.com. That's radware.com and let your brand shine.
Sure, seasons change, and that's more than the pollen on your car and everything else right now. Seasons in your life change too, and for over 90 years of seasons, Campus USA Credit Union has been here for you. As your life and financial needs change, Campus USA Credit Union can help. Checking and savings accounts, low-interest credit cards, personal loans or home equity loans, business loans, auto loans, and investments. Campus USA Credit Union. There's a location or ATM near you. CampusCU.com. Member NCUA.
Looking for a roof you can trust to weather any storm? Atlantic Roofing has been covering North Central Florida for over 20 years. We're a third-generation, locally owned roofing company. From Alachua to Marion, Bradford, Levy, Gilchrist, Columbia, and beyond, we've got your home, your business, and your back. Visit AtlanticRoofing.com or call today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing, where quality rises above.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carryout only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
When the unexpected happens, you need a legal team that's ready to fight for you, just like the Florida Gators. At Meldon Law, we're proud to partner with the Florida Gators to deliver winning results for those who have been injured at no fault of their own. With a strong record of success and a team that won't back down, Meldon Law is your trusted partner in tough times. Call Meldon Law at 352-373-8000 or visit us at meldonlaw.com.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
Ever dreamed of catching a touchdown pass from Tim Tebow or Danny Werfel, or taking a handoff from the legendary Steve Spurrier? Then you need to join the Florida Legends Experience on Monday, March 30th at the Alachua County at Celebration Point. You'll receive a personal video of your touchdown and a football signed by the Gator Legends. Enjoy an unforgettable day of Gator greatness while supporting the incredible mission of Isaiah 117 House. Tickets are limited. Get yours now at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com. Don't miss your chance to be a part of Gator history.
Think your season's over? Let's turn your off-season back on. Hoops is heating up on Hard Rock Bet, Florida's only legal way to bet the NBA. So you can bet on teams, star players, and more. With games practically every day, there's always something to parlay. Roll with Hard Rock Bet all NBA season. New users get paid double winnings on your first 10 bets.
Max bet of $50 per bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing. The godfather of Gator Sports Talk Radio has returned.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
It's Sports Scene with Steve Russell. Time to eat some lunch and talk some Gator sports.
Sports Scene with Steve Russell is fueled by Southeast Car Agency and brought to you in part by International Diamond Center, Domino's, Atlantic Roofing, Meldon Law, Los Linderos Tequila, Comfort Temp, Campus USA Credit Union, Pomodoro Cafe, Titan MRI and Imaging, Silverback Concrete, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Miapa Latin Cafe, Radware, Fairlife Milk, Gator Trim Lights, Quality Plumbing, Doreen Wiebe Realtor Caldwell Banker, and the Head Beer Coach.
Now, here's Steve Russell, right here on WRUF.
Welcome into our 2 of Sports Scene for this chilly but sunny St. Patrick's Day. Welcome. Michael's our producer today. Today, one of those days when it's just us. Okay, one guest today. A few more guests later on in the week. quick program reminder for you that tomorrow, a normal show, Thursday and Friday, because of our coverage of the tournament, Sports Team will air 10 a.m. until 11 a.m., both on Thursday and Friday. Please make a note of it. Okay? We come to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, where they can make your home and your yard look really, really great. Back porch retrofit, full landscape install, everything in between. They're good people. They do it right. You can find out more by going to GatorTrimLight.com. Also, we are fueled by Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue. Go see the Cousins family. They've been doing it for almost 50 years. That's right. The best in late model, low mileage vehicles. Many thanks to Quality Plumbing for sponsoring the first hour of the show. Second hour brought to you by the Florida Legends event. 3 Heismans, 2 events, and 1 legendary day. You can join Coach Spurrier, Danny Warfel, Tim Tebow for the Legends Gala at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill in Alachua County Sports Center Monday, March 30th. You can find out more info, www.fllegends.com. All right, today, let me just say this. Duke's Cameron Boozer, BYU's A.J. DeBonsa, Acuff of Arkansas, the dude from Michigan, and J.D. Toppin, first team All-Americans. Pretty good. That's a pretty good group. Braden Smith on the second team. A lot of Big Ten people there. Fears of Michigan State, Wagler of Illinois, Jefferson of Iowa State, and the North Carolina freshman Caleb Wilson. Thomas Houck making the third team. So did Phelan of Alabama. And several were honorable mention, including Ruben Chinyelu. So there you are. Wanted to let you know about that. As you call in today or you email, whatever you do, don't forget, all the phone calls come to you courtesy of the Titan MRI Imaging phone line. All the emails, srussell@wruf.com, courtesy of International Diamond Center. All of our guests, Meldon Law brings them to you, serving Gator Nation since 1971. Meldon Law won't back down. And if you want to be one of our sponsors, love to have you. We appreciate all of you who do. Contact Freddie, 352-284-3733, and you can expose your business to thousands of sports fans. And remember, we now have a new text line. Yeah, one more way you can reach us. The number, write it down, 352-325-3777. Put your name to it, and I'll read it on the air. Michael will make sure we get it. Okay? Again, call in today. Who's your Final Four? What is a successful season for Florida? And give me some of your upsets in the bracket. So when I pick mine, I can use your picks and maybe get some help here. Okay? All right. Let's take some calls. Andrew starts us. Hello, Andrew.
Yeah, hello, Steve. When earlier you talked with Dee and a few others maybe about that possibility of a rematch with Vandy, I was sitting here and you couldn't have taken words out of my mouth any quicker. I was absolutely licking my lips to get another chance at those, well, I'm not going to say, but those doors. I agree. Okay, my Final Four is obviously, I'm going with the big guys, Duke, Arizona, Michigan, and St. John's is a little X factor there for Pitino. Those are the four. Now, the upset, Steve, I really think, and I'm not playing into, anybody's alma mater, but I really think Alabama is going to have a time with Hofstra. And I think Hofstra took care of their league pretty good. And they have a height, 7-footer, 6'11". They have guards that can move. They're a little underrated in my book, Steve.
Well, obviously, Alabama losing, who they lost to because of the alleged drug issue doesn't help them either. And, it's interesting. He apparently, according to the police, had over 2 pounds of pot. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and before that, too, you remember the Adebayo was his name, or the G League player that played for maybe a game or two, remember?
Yep.
And I think that they were two major distractions going on in that program. And I like the Tide, but in basketball, but I do think that Arkansas is a better team out there. One other thing, Steve, before I let you go, these smaller teams, obviously, some people may agree or disagree. They have really good three-point shooters. And I've watched a variety of teams this year, enough to know. And this is the one thing about the Gators, Steve. I just can't get it off my mind. I wish it's like a mental block. If we don't get what you would consider good three-point shooting out of whoever, Houck, the guards, we're kind of in trouble against some teams that I had mentioned earlier that do shoot the three-point really well.
Okay, want to find out. Andrew, appreciate you. Thank you. If you go by some of the brackets, and if it goes according to chalk, the second round game, how about Kansas St. John's? That is going to be an intriguing game. And, Kansas is one of those teams that, when their star player is playing good, they can beat anybody. But then if he takes a flyer, they can lose. But I'm looking. That's one second round matchup I'm looking forward to. Byron, hello.
Hey, Steve. Steve, thank you guys last night, man. I enjoyed. I think Sean was on there with Doris Burke, man. I had never heard him do an NBA game, and it was nice to hear it, man. Atlanta, it's surprising me, and they probably kind of even it up there. So that East is getting real tight, Steve, and your Knicks and all of that, man. I tell you what, Boston with Jason Tatum, I kind of forgot about him. I don't know why, but I didn't think he was coming back this year, man. That's probably some kind of a great comeback from whatever injury, Achilles or whatever he had. But, yeah, man, just some good stuff. And real quick, Steve, I've been enjoying this since like Wade, Norm, Sloan in those days when we first got in there. And it just was good to make it to the 32. So I keep that same mentality, Steve. And the 16, it's at least 16 teams even with us. It's a lot of parity. So if we can get to the 16, that's a great thing. But, hey, win the first game against Prairie View or whoever, and that's a victory, man, to get to the 32 in college basketball today. Thanks, Steve, and go Gators.
Byron, thank you. I don't know if you saw this. Jay Billis does this every year. He picks every winner of every game. And in the South, he's got Iowa beating Clemson. Got Vanderbilt winning, Nebraska winning, North Carolina winning, Illinois winning, St. Mary's beating Texas A&M, and Houston. He's got Florida beating Iowa. He's got Vanderbilt beating Nebraska, so that would set that up again. Interesting matchup with Illinois and North Carolina. Illinois he picks. Also picks Houston. In the Sweet 16, he picks Florida to beat Vanderbilt. Thank you. How about Houston, Illinois, if it comes down to that? He's got Illinois there. I agree. Elite Eight, Florida, Illinois, he has Florida. So there you go. He's got Florida coming out. I just don't think Houston is as good as they were a year ago. And I think Illinois is really good. But I think Illinois is guard heavy, or that's their strength, should I say, and I don't think they can match up with Florida's front court. If Florida doesn't, if it gets to that game, I think Florida has a real chance to advance. Greg, I have Arizona and Florida in the championship game. Since Arizona was one of the very first games of the season, pretty cool to get another shot at them. This time for all the marbles. He says, appreciate your show, especially during March Madness and football season. Thank you, Greg, for being part of it. Appreciate that. Got a text from Daniel. I think a successful season would be a Final Four. I have Florida versus my second favorite team of all time, Duke, playing each other, and Duke winning. I wish you had Ron Slay on today. My wife did a bracket, and bless her heart, had Tennessee and Missouri in the Final Four. Should I say that's a crazy pick for her? Yes, that's a crazy pick. I don't think anybody is going to have those in the Final Four. But that's what you pick for. And, you know, some people, I had a buddy who used to just go in the bracket and pick like just about every conceivable upset. And every once in a while, when you had a tournament that, didn't go chalk, it worked out. Don't forget tonight, Gator baseball against Stetson. Stetson went to Arkansas and split with them. And it's a lot different, folks, if you're a team like that, when you play a series versus a game. Because Stetson's not going to throw its best arm. And that's changed over the years. Years ago, when a team like Stetson would play Florida, they might throw a weekend guy because they wanted to get a win over Florida for the tournament and all that. But it doesn't work that way. Most of the time now, if you're in a league like that, you got to win the league. And that's where you have to put your marbles at. It is interesting, though. Big matchup at Auburn. Georgia Tech at Auburn, 2 top 5 teams play each other tonight. Other than that, there is no other matchup like that. Is the matchup tonight as far as midweek is concerned. The Citadel plays Georgia, Charlotte's at South Carolina, Austin Peay's at Ole Miss. You get the point, right? Missouri plays Kansas. I'm not sure how good Kansas is, but it's on the road. Indiana is at Vanderbilt. Alabama's going on the road to play South Alabama. Of course, Alabama, Florida's next opponent in the SEC. We'll take a break, come back. Plenty of time to hear from you. We hope we do as Sports Scene continues live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF. Friends, if somebody's been in business for 45 plus years, doesn't that tell you something? Trust, longevity. Well, that is the case with my friends at Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville. The Cousins family has operated that business for the past 45 plus years, and they specialize in just one thing. They give you the best alternative you have to purchasing a new vehicle, the best in late model, low mileage vehicles. Great variety, great selection. I'm driving one now, have been for years. Go see them today, Southeast Car Agency, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue, Gainesville.
Gator Nation, ready to light it up? Gator Trim Light has already brightened homes and businesses across North Florida, and now they're bringing the heat with full color landscape lighting. Light up your palm trees, bushes, pools, patios, barbecue decks, everything in orange and blue. Whether it's a back porch retrofit or a full custom landscape install, Gator Trim Light makes your home game day ready. Turn your patio into the ultimate victory zone and cheer your Gators on to a big win. Visit GatorTrimLight.com. That's GatorTrimLight.com. Gator Trim Light. Let there be Gator Light.
When the unexpected happens, you need a legal team that's ready to fight for you, just like the Florida Gators. At Meldon Law, we're proud to partner with the Florida Gators to deliver winning results for those who have been injured at no fault of their own. With a strong record of success and a team that won't back down, Meldon Law is your trusted partner in tough times. Call Meldon Law at 352-373-8000 or visit us at meldonlaw.com.
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for Core Power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Protein to build muscle. Electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with Core Power.
Hey, have you ever talked to Ruse Agra over at State Farm?
Oh yeah, Ruse is awesome. Helped me get a ton of coverage for way less than I expected, and he serves all of North Florida. Super friendly too, actually takes time to explain everything.
Really? I thought State Farm would be pricey.
Nope, surprisingly great rates. You get that neighborly service you don't find everywhere. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I might give Ruse at State Farm a call.
You should. Call 352-240-1779 for a free quote. You'll be glad you did.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Sure, seasons change. And that's more than the pollen on your car and everything else right now. Seasons in your life change too. And for over 90 years of seasons, Campus USA Credit Union has been here for you. As your life and financial needs change, Campus USA Credit Union can help. Checking and savings accounts, low-interest credit cards, personal loans or home equity loans, business loans, auto loans, and investments. Campus USA Credit Union. There's a location or ATM near you. CampusCU.com. Member NCUA.
When the late, great Charlie Daniels would need a place for jewelry he could trust, he turned to International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange.
Hi, I'm Charlie Daniels, and I live in Tennessee, but when I get ready to do something serious about jewelry or a gift for my wife or somebody, I always get in touch with the folks at International Gold and Diamond Exchange here in Gainesville. There's a lot of reasons for that. One reason is they sell nothing but the best.
Find out what Charlie was talking about for yourself at International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange at 3440 West University Avenue and online at igdwex.com.
If it happens in Gator Nation, you hear it on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Welcome back to Sports Scene. Once again, a quick reminder, you can join the WRUF ESPN Gainesville Bracket Challenge and compete against all your favorite personalities, everybody here at the college and other listeners too. Fill out your NCAA tournament bracket on ESPN.com. Then in the groups section, select WRUF/ESPN Gainesville Bracket Challenge. Top two finishers receive cash prizes courtesy of Titan MRI and Imaging and Radware. Third place, a gift pack courtesy of Tri-Eagle Sales. Let's go to our Titan MRI Imaging phone line. Robert is there. Robert, hello.
Hey, Steve. Thanks for taking my call. I called you last week, and I was asking if they thought that they were going to put Houston in our bracket to avoid a repeat, and that's exactly what they did. However, what I'm concerned about is meeting in the Sweet 16 is meeting Houston in Houston with the Gators. That's going to be a tough game if that ends up happening in the Sweet 16. What do you think about that? Hang up and listen.
Okay, thank you, Robert. Yeah, I mean, Houston will be playing in its home city, not its home court, but its home city. But if you're Florida, I mean, haven't you played on the road before? I think that's a bit overblown here. I really do. Would you rather be? I mean, Florida's playing in Tampa. Is that an advantage? Yes. If Houston is playing that game in Houston, is that an advantage for Houston? Sure it is. But it doesn't mean you can't overcome it. You don't play the fans. You play on the court. That's, what counts. By the way, I'm going to bring up something here, but maybe you can help me, Michael, because Monty emails me and says, let's hope for extended success for St. Louis University. We can talk about Robbie Avila, who I think was the Conference Player of the Year, I think. Also known as, I know why. Now I know, I think. If you look at him physically, he's kind of nerdy, because he's also known as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Nerd, Milk Chamberlain, and Steph Blurry. So I think maybe, Monty, it takes me a while sometimes, okay, but I think I understand. If that's not the case, email me and tell me, but I think that's what you're driving at here. Bob, hello.
Steve, how are you doing today?
Good, sir.
Happy St. Patty's Day.
Happy St. Patty's Day to you. Okay.
Hey, just first a shout out to you. Gosh, I've been listening to you for so many years. My first year at UF was 10-1, so all the way back to then. And just thank you for the many years of great calling and the music shows in particular for me. Just really great memories. I think, were you at WGVL at one time?
Yes, I was.
Yeah, your FM quad ship.
That's right, the FM quad ship.
But anyway, yeah, thanks so much. And for younger people calling in, Steve, you're a legend, and really appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
But on the basketball, I'm a lifelong Gator fan. I hope we win it all. But realistically, I think many people have said this, I just don't think we have the level of guard play that we have to get there, shooting and defense. So hopefully I'm wrong, and we can get hot. But I think our overall package just isn't quite as strong. If you think back to last year, how many games we had to pull out, and the guard play was spectacular. But hoping for the best. And one thing, and this is an old subject, but Savion Lee, I love that he's improved, but man, he's got to go to Boogie's barber and get a Neil Walk special, man. Get rid of that modified Mo Howard haircut, and I think he'll improve. I think that's the key to our success. But he every time I haven't been to a game in person, but every time I see him on TV, he's playing with his hair, and that bugs me to no end. But I don't know if it bugs anybody else. But anyways, I hope we do well, and go Gators. And Steve, thanks for the memories.
Yep, thank you, Bob. You know what? He can have hair like Mo Howard. Put the ball in the basket, baby. That's the bottom line, and we'll see if that happens. I got an email here, and I'm going to ask this question. Jim, he says, I think anytime Florida can hang a banner, it's a successful season. That being said, I'd like to see the Sweet 16, then we'll see how far we can go. Did you see the catch where the Georgia left fielder robbed the Tennessee catcher's walk-off homer? Yes, I did. What made it even sweeter, if you're Georgia, is, first of all, it was in Athens. Secondly, the Tennessee player hit the ball, flipped his bat. And then the dude jumps at the fence and robs him, and Georgia gets the win. Love it. Okay? Love it. And I'm old school. Look, I'm not saying you shouldn't get excited about things like that. I'm not a big fan. Look what happened with Lawson the other day, right? I mean, that was not an egregious bat flip. I'm just not a fan of that. I never have been. But look, times change, things change. But yeah, when I saw that, I saw the catch, but did not see until later that the Tennessee player had flipped the bat like, okay, yeah, take that bat and go back where you came from. You lost. That'd be the first thing I would have said. But anyway, so thanks, Jim, for that. And I don't know, if you're a big fan, if you're a baseball fan of bat flipping or not. It's become, look, kids, college, they emulate pros. It's okay to do that now. In my day, you'd have had a ball in your ear if you did that. And I'd have put it there. If somebody bat flipped on me as a pitcher, he's wearing it next time he comes up. Simple. Okay, let's get some YouTube questions here. And they are courtesy of Campus USA Credit Union. Matthew, what first-round game are you looking forward to the most? I don't know about the most. I'd have to go and look again to see what I'll try to do before I leave the air, the most. Which one of the star freshmen are going to have the biggest impact in the tournament? Ooh, that's a good question. I understand when the Arkansas kid came here, he only had 19 points. He's really good. He's really, really good. But look, go around the country, there's other ones as well. But I think for him, I don't know the rest of the teams that well, but he just seems to be more important to Arkansas than the other freshmen are to their teams. Now, Kansas's kid, when he's on, Kansas is a different team. When he decides to, eat lunch on the bench or whatever he does, then they're not as good. Facebook Live question, courtesy of Rose State Farm from Rick. Do you think this is the best time of the sports calendar? Yes, I do. It is my favorite time of the year. It always has been, because there are so many sports that are happening. One of the things that is second best for me, it happens every year. I've sat in this chair and I say it every year. Everybody looks forward to football starting. And when it does, basketball just creeps up. And all of a sudden, bam, the season starts right smack in the middle of the football season. And I always say, gee, that's my second favorite time. But this time of the year with all the sports going on, because you have the leftovers of the winter plus the spring stuff, gymnastics and tennis and golf and, all that going on. Really good. Todd, many are concerned about potentially playing Houston in Houston. I'm concerned about potential matchup in the Sweet 16, Vandy. Again, I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to tell you I'm not concerned. Vandy has played Florida tough both times in Nashville. It ain't going to be in Nashville this time. And Florida, will be geeked to play them after they got whooped the other day. I think Florida wins that game. I'm going to tell you that right. I will stick with that right now, unless there's an injury or something. He also thinks the run will be dependent on guards being aggressive in transition and creating hitting shots, not just from three. I don't disagree with that. I think that's going to be a big part of it, too. All right, half an hour to go today. As you listen on Sports Scene, still plenty of time to hear from you. You're listening to Sports Scene on WRUF.
This is former Gator quarterback Shane Matthews, and you're listening to the home of Gator sports, WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
It's no fun being injured. The last thing you want to deal with is long wait times or high costs. Well, guess what? You don't have to, thanks to Titan MRI and Imaging. The experience at Titan MRI and Imaging is much more personal than the sterile atmosphere of a hospital. Joe and his team are personally involved and will guide you through the entire process at any of their 3 convenient locations. And they accept insurance. So if you need a scan, save time and money, and call Titan MRI and Imaging. Learn more at TitanMRI.com.
International Diamond Center's values are so compelling, it's not unusual to see people here that are not local.
Every day, we have people that drive an hour and a half, even 2 hours.
IDC owner Keith LeClaire.
People are willing to drive because they've heard it's not a typical jewelry store.
For example, did you know IDC has one of the largest selections of luxury pre-owned Rolexes in America?
You're going to want to come to IDC. It's worth the drive.
International Diamond Center in Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
For the first time ever in a public setting outside the Heisman Trophy ceremony in New York City, 3 legends are coming to Gainesville. Join Steve Spurrier, Daniel Werfel, and Tim Tebow, together with their Heisman trophies, for the Legends Gala at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill on Monday, March 30th. Enjoy an unforgettable night of Gator greatness while supporting the incredible mission of Isaiah 117 House. Tickets are limited. Get yours now at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com. Don't miss your chance to be a part of Gator history.
Looking for a roof you can trust to weather any storm? Atlantic Roofing has been covering North Central Florida for over 20 years. We're a third-generation, locally owned roofing company. From Alachua to Marion, Bradford, Levy, Gilchrist, Columbia, and beyond, we've got your home, your business, and your back. Visit AtlanticRoofing.com or call today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing, where quality rises above.
Craving real Cuban flavor? Come to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, where every bite brings you home. From our juicy roast chicken with yellow rice and black beans, our breakfast options to sweet plantains, empanadas, and our iconic Cuban cafecito, we've got what your taste buds are waiting for. And with 6 locations, there's sure to be one near you serving up warm hospitality and authentic breakfast, lunch, or dinner vibes whenever hunger strikes. So head over to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, the best Cuban food north of Miami. Visit miapalatincafe.com or stop by your nearest location today.
The best conversations happen with Los Linderos tequila, like this recent conversation between 2 Gator legends.
Coach, you know what always impressed me, how you beat Florida State to win the 1996 national championship.
And I was really impressed with your 06, 08, and 09 Gator teams.
And the way you coached Danny to the Heisman Trophy.
A lot like what you did with Tim Tebow.
To the Swamp and the Gators, with the best beverage served at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. 100% agave, Los Linderos tequila. Aged in bourbon barrels for a smoother taste.
Just after sunrise, the lake is glass. No traffic, no noise, just you, a cup of coffee, and open water. That kind of peace isn't far away. With Radiant Credit Union's flexible boat financing, competitive rates, and quick approvals, you could be on the water sooner than you think. Make some waves with a boat loan at Radiant Credit Union. But hurry, our special rates only last until March 31st. Apply today at radiantcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA Equal Opportunity Lender.
You're listening to Sports Scene with Steve Russell, right here on WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
We swing into our final half hour here. Okay, some of the first round games here. Top of my head, the 2 Florida teams, UCF, South Florida. I think they've got a chance to win. UCLA, I know, is kind of beat up, and it's been a long year for them. So I would say probably those 2 games, first round, would stick out to me. I'd have to go look at the rest of the brackets, but those are the 2 that came to mind. But I'll tell you what, how about Kansas and St. John's in the second round? That is worth the price of admission. And then, you know, I'm anxious. I hope Nebraska plays Vanderbilt. I've not seen Nebraska play. And they can beat Vanderbilt. But I'm hoping for Vanderbilt. I just am. And then I want to see, and you know what? If Vandy can beat Florida again, tip your cap. It's hard to beat anybody 3 times in the same season. It's hard, especially, you know, when you're a pretty good team. All right, Brian, International Diamond Center email. Well, let's talk about playing Houston. In Houston, let's pump the brakes. We have to get to that game, and so does Houston. Great point. I'm focusing on the team at hand. Can't look past any opponent at this time. It's win or go home. Florida won the Natty in San Antonio last year. That was basically a Houston home game. Yeah, I get the point, though. Also, following on the second most successful SEC team of all time, referring to all time and not a certain period. Then obviously Kentucky would be 1. Who would be 2? I'd have to think about that. Because, I mean, if you're going back, you know, all that way, think about it. Some of the teams that are good now weren't in the league. Arkansas, right? They've been good, but they weren't in the league. Could you make an argument for Tennessee, maybe? You know, being the second best team? Florida's success really started in '87 till the present. I still don't see any other team besides Kentucky who's had more success. is when am I going to share my Final Four picks? Probably when it's done, and I can say, see, I picked those. No, I'm kidding. He's got Florida, UConn, Arizona, and Iowa State in the Final Four. Of all the years that I did a bracket, and again, I'm going to be dead honest, I don't spend a lot of time. There's only been 1 year I had the Final Four. One in 28 years of doing this show. So that goes to show you, don't look at my bracket because it won't help you. Patrick, why the Gators so scared of Vandy, Houston, etc. We're a number 2 seed, and we're going to blow them all out. And why does Ball, I mean, I don't know what you're talking about here, Patrick. No idea. You mean the Gators aren't scared? I mean, if you're talking about Gator fans scared of Vandy and Houston, but the Gators aren't afraid of them at all. But look, this time of the year, you've got people that look at a matchup and go, well, that could. You don't think Houston fans are going, we want to play Florida again? Fan bases are just like that. That's just how that is. By the way, for baseball tonight, Russell Sandifer gets the start on the mound. And they're going to start a righty tonight who's 0-1 with a 5.40 ERA, Joel Core. You can hear the game here beginning at 6:25. I lost my email here. Here it is. Sam. Steve, I'm going to blow you away here with a completely different email, but I hope you'll indulge me a little bit. I know there's talk about who Florida's going to get as its women's basketball coach. Do you ever think you'll see the day when Florida women's basketball is on the same par with the men? No. Not in the near future. No. Unless you get Dawn Staley here, unless you get somebody like that could potentially turn it around that quick, no. No. And think about how many teams at this point are above Florida in the SEC in women's basketball. But the right hire can certainly change things around. Let's go to our Titan MRI Imaging phone line. David is there. David, hello.
Good afternoon, Steve. Steve, can you really put Tennessee at number 2 when they've never even been to the Final Four?
No,
I'm
just trying to think of somebody else.
I'm just saying. I know they have a good basketball history. They've been good for a lot of years, but they've never really reached the heights. I think you'd have to put Florida. Even though their success has been in the last 25 years, they've had some tremendous success in those 25 years. So I think Florida is right off the top of my head. I don't know of anybody with a better success.
I mean, LSU, has had a nice run, with Dale Brown, but they've not, been consistently good. Nobody's been consistently good because of how that works. But yeah, I mean, could you make an argument for Florida? Sure, and I would buy the argument.
Yeah, and I mean, I try to look at that without orange and blue glasses.
Sure.
Just, their success over the last 25 years has been pretty outstanding. Hey, Steve, I can't remember who they play in the first round, but I'm picking my first upset. North Carolina getting upset. I looked at that and I thought that's a possibility, but I just can't remember who they were playing. I don't know if you have the bracket in front of you or not, but I think it's going to be a really good tournament. I'm looking forward to it.
They play
Steve,
VCU, I think. I think I'm right.
Yeah, I think you're right. Virginia Commonwealth, and I think Virginia Commonwealth could surprise a few people.
Yeah,
and more than just that game.
Carolina doesn't have Caleb Wilson. That hurts them a little bit. And VCU, is a pretty good team. That wouldn't shock me if VCU won that.
Yeah. And let me just say this about what would make this year a successful season for Florida? Steve, they've already done it. How many times do you win an SEC conference championship? We haven't done it since 2014. Their season is already a success, in my opinion. I just think anything here on, I mean, we should win the first round. We should get through those first two games. But in a tournament, you just never know. There's been some crazy stuff. And last year when Florida won, we had to have a lot of luck. And so does every other team that wins the national title.
Sure.
Steve, have a great day.
Thank you, David. I don't disagree with that. And I also don't disagree with your point about successful season. It isn't like Florida's hung, 25 SEC championship banners in the O'Connell Center. So that is a successful season. But I think more older fans would have that sentiment as opposed to younger ones, because the younger ones have seen, the back-to-back, all of that. But no, I'm with you. When you win the SEC, pretty good. Pretty good. Ben emails and he says, Steve, can I ask a baseball question? Sure you can. Then he continues asking the question. But yes, he says, World Baseball Classic, are you a big fan of it? Am I a big fan of it? No. Am I a fan of it? Sure. I will say this. Anything that can give baseball a kick, baseball's having a bit of a renaissance. Baseball was having trouble attracting young fans. I think, and even though I don't like it, right, the bat flip stuff, the younger players doing what they do has inspired kids to play the game again. When there was a period of time that just didn't happen. So yes, I'm a fan of it. Have I watched a lot of it? No, I haven't. I've been interested in it. It's fun to see the Gator players in it. It's fun to see who is playing in it. But yeah, I'm nothing wrong with that at all. And then John says, I really enjoy you talking to players. You're going to have more players on. We hope so. We try to get in as much as we can. We really enjoyed the Florida softball players coming on. Do you realize in the SEC, it's down to 4 teams in the league that are unbeaten? That's it this early in the year. And I think it's been 6 games? 2 series, right? I think. Florida's 6-0. Texas is 6-0. And there's 2 other unbeatens. A&M is unbeaten. They were just they beat LSU, I think. And LSU, Beth Torina, the former Gator, they've gotten off to a rough start. But anyway, to answer your question, yes, we enjoy having players here, and when we can get them, we take them. I know you like hearing from them. We'll take our final break, and then we'll wrap up Sports Scene for today as you listen. Coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF.
He's got the 1966 Heisman Trophy, the 1996 National Championship Trophy, and 7 SEC trophies. Now he's got a new trophy, a can of beer. Steve Spurrier was the head ball coach. Now you can call him the head beer coach. Head Beer Coach 1966 Lager is available in 16-ounce cans at Gator games and stores all across Gainesville. You can also get it in the can or on draft at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Refreshing in all kinds of weather, Head Beer Coach 1966 Lager, a legend in a can.
Attention local and regional CDL-A drivers in the North Florida area. Pritchett Trucking is currently looking for local and regional drivers. Are you looking for a driver-friendly environment? Pritchett Trucking offers more home time, great pay, and great benefits, including health insurance and paid time off. And they also offer a quarterly performance and safety program, plus a sign-on bonus. Pritchett Trucking's regional drivers are home weekends and local drivers are home daily. If you're at least 23 years old and want a rewarding career with great pay, don't let the opportunity pass you by. Apply online at pritchettrucking.com.
Are you ready to raise your game when it comes to your Gators gear? Head over to Alma Mater in Gainesville and you'll find just what you need to rep your team in style. From one-of-a-kind Gator tees and hats to NIL gear, they've got the perfect Gator swag for every fan in all kinds of weather. Whether it's game day or any day, you'll be winning with officially licensed apparel found nowhere else. Locally owned, locally produced. Alma Mater, in-store at the corner of 34th and University or online at almamaterdesign.com.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carryout only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
We sell more so you save more at the all-new Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC. New Chevy Silverado or GMC Sierra, $349 per month. New Chevy Colorado or GMC Canyon, $239 per month. Plus, we'll beat any price from the Villages to Lake City to Jacksonville and everywhere in between. At the all-new Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC on North Main Street in the heart of Gator Country and at GainesvilleChevyGMC.com. 36-month leases, $84.99 due at signing, plus tax tag, title, and dock. All rebates and incentives to dealer may include loyalty, subject to later approval. Together, let's drive.
When you need insurance, you'd like to get great coverage for a great rate, right? The big companies tell you they'll do, but how can you be sure? With Ann Tom's Insurance, you're not navigating coverage's choices alone. Ann Tom's is an independent agent with 35 years of experience, representing over 45 companies. Having an independent agent can make a real difference. It's that simple. Ann is local and independent. Call Ann direct, 352-727-3111. That's 352-727-3111. She can actually help.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
A mix of sun and clouds for us on this Tuesday afternoon. Temperatures on the chilly side in the mid to upper 50s. Tonight, partly cloudy, lows cooling to the mid to upper 30s. Tomorrow afternoon, a little bit warmer. We should make it to the mid 60s. By the time we get to Thursday, highs back in the 70s. Sunny skies and tranquil conditions for the rest of the work week. From the WUFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Borowski.
This is Sean Kelly, voice of the Gators, and you're listening to the home of Gators basketball, right here on WRUF.
This hour of the show brought to you by the Florida Legends event. 3 Heisman's, 2 events, 1 legendary day. You can join Spurrier, Warfel, and Tebow for the Legends Gala at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill in Lasso County Sports Center Monday, March 30th. You can get your tickets, get more info, www.fllegends.com. And a big shout out to Gator Domino's. When we do our high school stuff, they are really on it. Support their local high schools. There's a Domino's store in your neighborhood. You can call or click www.domino's.com today. And we appreciate, again, all of our sponsors. Make sure to check out our daily clip of the day on WRUF, Facebook, and YouTube at WRUF Home of the Gators, brought to you by our friends at Fairlife Milk. Mike said that Gator basketball didn't start in 87. 65 to 69, they had some good teams. Only 25 teams went to the tournament and only conference champs. That's true. But you either win or you don't, right? And back then, you still won a conference championship or didn't win a conference championship. Not saying those teams weren't good, but that was the measuring stick that everybody had to follow, and therefore they did not do a whole lot when it came to that. All right, a couple of emails here, and then we will call it a day here. Bill says, my favorite time of the year, too, Steve, is right now Love the fact that all these different sports are playing, and just having a March Madness caps it off. It's really good. Yeah, it is obviously really good. Thank you for that. BB, haven't looked at the brackets yet. Could you give me a brief answer? In what round will we face Vanderbilt, Sweet 16? What round will we face Houston, provided the Gators win? And could you repeat your broadcast schedule for the rest of the week? Certainly. Tomorrow, normal day. Noon to 2, normal day. Thursday and Friday, 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. And among our guests, I actually confirmed 3 guests while I was on the air today during the break. Tomorrow, Michelle Smith is going to be here to talk softball from ESPN, where softball is at this point of the season. Thursday, Ron Slay from the SEC Network will talk hoops and the SEC teams and the NCAA tournament and all of that. Carolyn Peck, the former Florida women's coach, working the women's bracket for ESPN. She'll talk about the women's tournament. And then on Friday, Mike DeCourcy from the Sporting News will join us to talk about the tournament as well in his view. But again, that's going to be 10 to 11 a.m. on Thursday and Friday. Yeah, now, if everything went according to chalk here, BB, if Florida wins, Vanderbilt plays McNeese, right? Then in the second round, Nebraska, if they win, would play Vanderbilt. Florida would play the winner of Clemson, Iowa. Sweet 16, that's where Florida and Vanderbilt could perhaps meet. Houston would be up against probably Illinois, and then Florida would get Houston or Illinois in the Elite Eight. That's how that particular scenario would work. So I hope that answers the question. And one final email, Ken. It's actually got a funny email here. He says, right now, in terms of the SEC, maybe we'll talk about this tomorrow, because again, it can be one of those days tomorrow when, not a lot going on. He said, who is the best program in the SEC? Could you break it down, male sports, female sports? That's a lot of work, Ken. I can do that top of my head, but I can certainly tell you that I can't name you, all of Texas A&M sports and how good they are. I can give you a general idea, right? I mean, look at some of the teams that, did well in football. I have no idea, what cross country did with those schools. But, basketball, we all know who's in the tournament, right, and who isn't. In softball, we all know who's doing well. Track. So, but Florida's right there. If you're asking me, is Florida are they the best in the conference? Arguable. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. Thanks to Michael for taking the calls today. We thank you for tuning in. Kevin and the Sports Lab gang are next. Do not move your radio dial. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk some more sports tomorrow, I hope. I'm Steve Russell. You're listening to WRUF. See you tomorrow.
And I'll keep this world from dragging me down. Gonna stand my ground, and I won't back down. Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out.
The NCAA tournament is coming to WRUF this March.